the teachings of Xoyology.
Whilst Ananil passed me images, and I saw other angels, 33 in number, I wondered of the significance of that number, and as I searched for information on why the number 33 may be of significance, I started close to home for some reason, which is something that I very rarely do, and I found, to my surprise, that just only round the corner from me in a nearby town was a lodge that had great significance, and it was built around the number 33. It has 3 sides, and every single side has a puzzle on it that equals the numbers 33. I went to visit this building. This building, the Triangular Lodge, was built between 1593 and 1597 by a gentleman of the name of Sir Thomas Tresham in Rushton in Northamptonshire in England. For looking on the sides and seeing the number 33 was plain and simple. I mean, even the letters across the top of each side in letter count added up to the number 33. They had deep meaning when translated from their Latin form to English, but all of this you could find on the net, and I found even before I left off. So I was looking for more answers, and looking into the actual symbology and symbols that are featured on the actual sides of each side. On each side of this building the number 33 rung out and stood out like a sore thumb, but rather than looking for the numbers 33 I was looking for inconsistencies on the sides, or looking at symbols that people haven't really looked into on each of the sides and what they may mean. I worked from the top of the building, from where I had sight to, that is, and for the large steeple on top I paid very little attention to. But on the actual mounts at the top there are like 3 raised triangular areas to each side. To the left and right are sort of panels with symbols within centre place, and in the actual centre triangle is a sundial on each side. Now the symbols on each side of this building are very, very important, I believe. I'm going to tell you why now. To the southwest front side, in the top left corner, there appears to be a round object, which could be an egg or a globe or the earth, and wrapped around it is a snake. The snake is not eating its tail, however, so is not the infinity symbol. There is a bird sitting aloft on top of the snake's head. Now I wonder if this means that the snake itself has got wings, marking out to the actual symbol of creation, the caduceus, or even the Quetzalcoatl, the serpent of creation. In the top right hand corner of the same side you can see a sun, and then reaching from it is a hand upon a globe or a round sphere. I feel this could be the earth and the hand of God marking the days of creation. The globe itself looks blank, so that's why I say that it is a mark of creation. It was before the earth was formed correctly by the hand of God. On the north front side, the actual panels to top left and top right are both birds feeding young. The one on the left appears to be a dove with her chicks, and on the right seems to be a pelican. Now when you look at the pelican feeding its chicks, there is a quite prominent symbol throughout churches and throughout history of a pelican feeding chicks using its own blood. I believe that this is a symbol for life, the giving of life and bringing into the world. Creation, if you like, and living the life cycle. It shows the mother bleeding itself into the chicks' mouths, marking the life and life cycle. On the southeast front, in the top left, is what appears to be the 7-sticked candle holder, and in the top right are the 7 eyes of God. Now this could mark the end of a life cycle, or heaven itself, or an afterlife, or the eyes of God, or being put in front of the eyes of God. And the 7 candlesticks could be rebirth. What is interesting about all 3 sides is these symbols, these small drawings to the top corners, are actually contained or have a theme within them of a shape. On the southwest front is the round circle that the snake is wrapped around, and the hand of God that reaches to. On the north front you have the 2 birds, the pelican and the dove, and they are contained in squares. On the southeast front, the candlestick and also the eyes of God are contained in heptagrams or heptagons. Now all of these symbols have pretty significant occultic meaning. The circle in the occult is a boundary of power. It often encompasses other symbols within the centre. Occultists also use the symbol of the circle to draw around their body if they know that they're going to be astral projecting away from their actual physical self, to protect the body from any unwanted entities from entering while the soul is away. In life, each of us is given a star sign, a birth sign, and it's something that we take to the grave with us. So throughout life, you have the mark of either being a cardinal sign, a fixed sign, or a mutable sign. And when looking at the zodiac chart, you can lay the square symbol upon each to actually pinpoint cardinal, fixed, or mutable. The heptagon, or heptagram, is also reference to the 7 chakra points of the human body, and also denotes the days of the week. Now this symbol can be produced in 3 different ways: the regular heptagon, the obtuse heptagram, and the acute heptagram. All 3 can be used for various means throughout the occult. The lodge itself is triangular in configuration, and from aerial view looking down, a triangle is clearly seen in its actual construction. Laying the triangle over the top of the zodiac chart, as I did the actual square, gives rise to the fire signs, earth sign, air and water. Now placing all 4 of these signs on top of one another gives you the Star of David, or as I've already explained in a previous video, the Merkaba. And the Merkaba is also reference to the life body and transport of the human soul, and also in turn a link to the chakra points. For when the chakra points are all aligned through the Kundalini experience, understanding the Merkaba becomes very forefront of your mind. Some would argue that symbols and the relation to the occult that I am drawing is just that, just sheer coincidences, and nothing more than that. Yet occultists will see great meaning to this actual building, and also to the numbers 333, which I'll be moving on to shortly. Why is number 33 so important, and probably featured prominently all over this building for those reasons? Well, after doing heavy research, I found that at the age of 33 Jesus was crucified upon the cross, but more importantly that was also the age that he was resurrected. We also found another prominent builder of strange buildings that had more symbolic meaning to them, Solomon. He had a signet ring with a seal diagram, which was marked with 3s upon it. Triple 3s and double 3s feature prominently all over it, as well as 2 triangles overlapping one another, again giving rise to the Merkaba, or the Star of David, marking the life body and transportation of the human soul. The 33 steps within inside the lodge could give rise to the 33 degrees and steps in Masonry to reach enlightenment. Now, the actual sides of the outside of the lodge mark, as I say, 3 different cycles in the life system. In Masonry they have what is known as tracing boards. There are 3 tracing boards for the first 3 degrees, marking the birth, life and death of Hiram Abith. My visit to the Triangular Lodge was quite rewarding. Walking round the lodge and seeing that each of the sides represented parts of the human life cycle, being birth, life and death, or resurrection or rebirth of the human soul, on the southeast front. Now on the southeast front, being that the doorway is upon this side, bears a great deal of relevance to why I feel that this lodge is for reincarnation or rebirth of the human soul, or transition of, or transcension of the human soul. I feel that the number 33, the sign for resurrection, is the whole purpose of this actual lodge, and I feel that whatever went on within this lodge, whichever rituals they were, or the dates that they visited this lodge on, beared great importance also. Yet I can't find information on when this lodge was used or what it was used for in practice, or who visited it even. If anyone can find that information, please comment or post it, or even send it to me on a personal message. I'd be most grateful.
The teachings of Xoyology.